Welcome back to Culture Byte. I'm Kevin, and Amazon just released a new trailer for Fallout Season 2 at Gamescom, and we learned it is dropping on December 17th this year, which is absolutely insane to think how the first season was dropped last year on April 10th, 2024, and now 1 year later, we have another season, and it looks amazing. In this video, I'm going to bite into this trailer and look at it scene by scene for Easter eggs and things we might have missed in our first watch through, and spoiler alert, I will be talking about the old-ass game that is Fallout New Vegas, so be warned, and spoilers for Season 1. But if you're watching this, then you might have seen Season 1. So anyway, let's bite into it.
I'm looking for someone.
Common story around here.
Someone you care about or
Someone you hate.
Oh, what a great question. What say you, Miss McLean?
Why would my dad go to Las Vegas?
You want to know why the world ended? It started here with one man.
It's all over, but the cry.
Cooper Howard, star of the silver screen.
And no
The trailer begins with a Geiger counter sound in Nevada desert, or the Mojave Wasteland, as that's what it's called in Fallout New Vegas, the game. We see Lucy, played by Purnell, and the Ghoul, played by Walton Goggins. Alright, quick recap of Season 1. The story began in Vault 33, where Lucy grew up in an underground community, but everything changed when raiders attacked and her father, Hank, was kidnapped. Lucy left the safety of the vault to track him down, stepping into the wasteland for the first time. Out there, she met the Ghoul, who used to be Cooper Howard, a famous pre-war actor and Vault-Tec mascot. Now it turned into a hardened, irradiated Ghoul. And Maximus, a lowly Brotherhood of Steel squire, desperate to rise through the ranks. As Lucy searched for Hank, she discovered just how dangerous and morally gray the wasteland really was. Along the way, Maximus betrayed a Brotherhood of Steel knight to secure his promotion and was ultimately knighted, but his loyalty was consistently tested. The Ghoul wrestled with his old life. Flashbacks showed how his wife Barb worked with Vault-Tec on the sinister plans leading up to the nuclear war. The big twist came when Lucy finally confronted Hank and learned that he was the one who killed Lucy's mother and dropped the bomb on Shady Sands, the capital of the NCR. We find out that Hank is part of the cabal of people who plan to drop the bombs. And by the final, Hank escaped again, Lucy's world was shattered by betrayal, Maximus and Brotherhood were left with infinite power, and the Ghoul and Lucy found themselves on a new mission: to hunt down Hank McLean. So that's why Lucy says she's looking for someone. We see that Lucy and the Ghoul are at a camp of sorts. When someone asks Lucy, is it someone she cares about or someone she hates? The Ghoul is saying, well, that's a great question. What do you say, McLean? So we know that Lucy this season is going to have to contemplate to either kill her dad or bring him back to the vault for justice. And you can see the Ghoul's definitely going to play devil's advocate. We start hearing, I want to hear the world crumble, but it stops short as if her world is crumbling around her. We see a sign that says 50 miles away from Vegas. Lucy asks why her dad went to Las Vegas. The Ghoul looks at her as he says, you want to know why the world ended? It started with one man. Then we hear It's All Over But the Crime by the Ink Spots, setting the nostalgic and haunting Fallout mood. We see a shot of New Vegas as it transitions to Las Vegas of the old days, as we see the Top Casino and Gomorrah, and of course the Lucky 38. All places you would visit in the game. And we do know that these were actually sets they built for the show through leak images. Then we see a shot of the Lucky 38 in its heyday as we see Cooper Howard arrive with his wife, probably for some promotional event as we see later in the trailer. But we know that last season Cooper found out that his wife was part of ending the world and dropping the bombs. So I wonder how he would navigate knowing this secret this season.
Like yourself, I am the very best at what I do.
but
And what I do is I know everything. I know there's a war coming. The bombs will only be the beginning. My concern is that you would do just about anything to save your family. I think you are actually quite a violent man. You just don't want to kill me yet.
This is Robert House, who's being played by this season by
Justin Theroux.
because last season he did appear and was played by Rafi Silver among the cabal of people that wanted to drop the bombs at Vault-Tec, but was recast. But who is Robert House, or Mr. House? He's the pre-war billionaire behind Robco Industries, who helped make the Pit-Boy and the reclusive ruler of New Vegas. In Fallout New Vegas, when the bombs fell, he locked himself inside the Lucky 38, hooked up to life support machines, and ruled the strip through his Securitron army. And in Fallout New Vegas, you actually have the chance to kill House. So it's very interesting that he's become a major part of the show. And I gotta say, when he was going through his speech, I thought for a second that it sounded robotic, kind of.
I am the very best at what I do.
Like he's talking through it. So I wonder if they are saying he survived past the events of Fallout New Vegas. But as we hear this, we see some quick shots. We see Lucy has waken up once again in a room that I'm assuming is that underground vault city or tower we see later in the trailer. But we can see that the dress she wore the day she got married, it's all bloody, which means it hasn't been cleaned, which is like gross. We see a Giddy Up Buttercup, which was a pre-war toy. You could collect these in-game, and Sugar Bomb. But once again, Lucy is waking up in a random-ass place. We then see Cooper Howard, possibly in a studio, as I see NCR propaganda poster. We see a Securitron. That's actually Victor, your robo-savior in New Vegas. He's the one who dug the courier out of their grave in Good Springs. But don't let the act fool you. He's basically Mr. House's eyes and ears, shadowing you through the Mojave. So makes you wonder if Mr. House is using him in some way. But also, could we see Cooper Howard in Good Springs, or did he just meet him here? As the camera pans over, we see the Gomorrah, the Tops Casino, and yes, this big computer monitor that House watches people from, but also displayed himself on in the game. This is also one of the floors you can actually walk around in, which is like his penthouse floor. Then we have an overshot view of one of the airships that the Brotherhood of Steel have as a vertibird takes off. Let's remember that last season, the Brotherhood of Steel were left with infinite power and Maximus was held at night. So you gotta wonder, how do they manage that? And by the looks of it, it doesn't look like they manage that so well. But we see a Brotherhood airship around some type of military base, and I know it's a stretch, but it would be cool if this was Hidden Valley Bunker. The Hidden Valley Bunker in the game is the Brotherhood of Steel's desert hideout in the game, and it looks like it's abandoned, sand bunkers on the outside, but inside it's their whole operations, armories, war rooms, and all. This Mojave chapter is weaker than its East Coast cousins, hiding out and trying to rebuild after big losses. And remember that I said chapters. We see Aaron Moulton return as Maximus with some new scars from last season. It looks like he's on the airship. Then we see something crazy, which is Lucy with a group of legionnaires, aka Caesar's Legion. Caesar's Legion in the game is basically Fallout's version of a Roman Empire revival, but much darker. They're slavers, conquerors, and zealots led by Caesar himself, who united dozens of wasteland tribes into an army. In New Vegas, they're the main rival to the NCR, and their vision for the Mojave is one of absolute rule, crucifixions, and fear. And if the show is pulling them in, it could mean we're seeing the darkest possible ending of Fallout New Vegas come to life. And we even see someone who is being celebrated by the others as he has his fists up and you see a golden crown. We know that the Caesar we met in Fallout New Vegas had cancer, and you as a player could choose to help him live, let him die. But that would leave the Legion in hands to Lanius, which is somehow worse than Caesar, so could this be him? Now, one has got to wonder what this means for the ending of Fallout New Vegas. Allowing the Legion to attack New Vegas was an option if they are here and not the NCR, and if New Vegas is in ruins, maybe this is what ending is confirmed. Then we see the Ghoul gunning someone down as we see Dinky the T-Rex. So they're actually in Novac, and we see that Lucy is in the mouth of the dino. But that is amazing that we are actually seeing this iconic location come to life. Like, I wonder how many locations they are actually visiting from the game if they do. But I also wonder if we will see Boone, or at least a mention. Boone was one of the companions you could have in the game. We see Howard's wife Barb close the shades as we know she's doing some shady business. As we hear Mr. House say anything to save your family, we see Howard is holding on to his daughter as people are running around him as he's looking at his own billboard that says keep your loved ones safe with the Vault Boy thumbs up as we see a vertibird fly away. We learned that last season that Howard was the inspiration for the Vault Boy and was heavily involved in the marketing, but I don't think this is the day that the bombs dropped, as Howard and his daughter's clothes are not the cowboy outfits they wore at the party. So you gotta think, why is everyone running? Then we hear House say, I think you are very violent man, as we see Howard ride an atomic bomb as a bull at the Lucky 38. Again, where was this ride in the game? Like, I better see this as a mod in the future, or I swear. But it's interesting, this type of marketing event that he has to go to. But Mr. House says, you don't want to kill me yet. So I think this is a very interesting, just because what is House's game here? Could we possibly see him appear in the show? There's definitely some type of deal he's making with Cooper. Maybe he knows that Cooper knows of their plan and threatens to leave his wife and daughter out of the vault. We then see Brotherhood of Steel Knights, which I think this one is Maximus, as it has the bear claw marks from last season, and they are fighting some Theroux ghouls. We then see Hank McLean as he arrived at some type of Vault-Tec facility under New Vegas, possibly. And again, where was this when I was playing? Then we see Maximus smiling with his friend as he fist bumps his friend. This could be actor
Kumail Nanjiani.
who's been speculated to play a high-ranking Brotherhood of officer this season.
Let's get lucky, shall we?
I defer to you about what to do in this situation.
Then we see a snowy landscape and a crash vertibird as we see cannon fire. We then see Cooper Howard in power armor approaching that crash vertibird. So could we be seeing the Battle of Anchorage? It's the US reclaiming Alaska from Chinese forces in 2077. Fallout 3 even had the Operation Anchorage DLC that lets you play through the snow-filled trenches and fights of the battle in the simulation. Then we see someone grab a grenade. Then we see that Lucy's actually in a dinosaur head and the ghoul is killing everyone. And I really like how they try to recreate the Novac hotel. And we see that as someone grabs onto another person and runs towards the pool, they explode. And like, what's happening here that every town is like in chaos? But the ghoul tips his hat to Lucy. As you can see, she still doesn't agree with his methods. But Dogmeat is there, and we see that Lucy is using a rifle or a sniper. So I wonder if Boone gave her this. It was kind of funny because I saw people say that this is Macaulay Culkin, but this is the chicken fucker from the first season. How dare you guys? But this guy's back cooking up again weird products, and I wonder if we'll see Thaddeus return. Let's not forget that he was given some type of special treatment, so he might return as a ghoul. We then see the ghoul fall out, get it, out a window, where we can see that he's outside the Atomic Wrangler, which is great to see. And we do see some people, so it looks like Freeside is alive and well. But what is Freeside? It's just the outside gates of New Vegas, where it's basically the slums. It's run by the Kings, a gang led by a full-on Elvis impersonator. If you thought Fallout could get any weirder, there you go. We then see the craziest part as we see Maximus and a knight in power armor running away, as we see 3 airships with one that has gone down. And we can see that it's gone down because the airships are firing on each other. So I'm thinking it's possible that these are different chapters of the Brotherhood of Steel. Brotherhood of Steel isn't one united army. Different chapters run things different their own way. The West Coast guys are paranoid tech holders. The Mojave chapter hides out in bunkers like Hidden Valley. And the East Coast Brotherhood swings between being noble protectors and outright tyrants, depending on who's in charge. So this battle could be a battle for who gets control of the unlimited. We see a vault dweller get attacked by a rad roach on the back, as it says number 31. So this is Vault 31 dwellers. Let's remember, these are buds. In Vault 31, this is actually a secret experiment by Vault-Tec. Bud Askins put his handpicked junior executives into cryosleep in Vault 31, planning for them to take over Vault 32 and Vault 33 over generations. In flashbacks, we meet Bud himself, but he's there only as a roller brain on a Roomba, so it's kind of sad. So it seems like Norm woke them up to a rad roach infestation. Could have been from Norm to like kill them, but who knows. But let's not forget that Bud locked Norm in, so maybe he did this to escape. We then see Lucy and the ghoul outside the Lucky 38, and it looks like they're probably fighting someone. This might be part of the closing scene. The ghoul shoots and an explosion goes off as we see that they're also in front of the Gamora, and in the Tops Casino is actually not too far off. Then we see a Securitytron firing on the Brotherhood of Steel Knight. We see actually he has a lead pipe on his back, and I can't tell if this is Maximus just because he doesn't have the claw mark on his chest. But we also see that there's a vault party happening. Maybe this is for the Vault Dwellers of Vault 31 celebrating their release. I really wouldn't put it past them. It actually looks like they have like a united dance or something because they put their Pip-Boys out or something. Then I think I see a giant ant possibly eating another bug possibly. And then I see Lucy shoot at what I think is actually one of the kings, but it looks like they're ghoulified. So that's crazy. That means basically that what they're telling me is that everyone is dead, and it looks like a bomb must have dropped in New Vegas, and there's just tons of ghouls. That's sad. But there's this slow-mo shot we get of Lucy as she's shooting with the New Vegas sign in the background, and this is definitely reminds me of the trailer we got for Fallout New Vegas. It's just amazing. It just works. Then we see Lucy and the Ghoul hiding behind a car as the Deathclaw approaches. We start seeing it by his claw. Deathclaws in New Vegas are basically Fallout's ultimate boss monsters. They were military experiments turned wasteland apex predators, towering lizard-like beasts that can tear through even power armor. In the Mojave, entire areas like Quarry Junction are basically Deathclaw turf, making their live-action debut in Season 2 a huge deal for fans. They did confirm that Season 2 would have some Deathclaws after we saw the skull of one as Hank McLean approached New Vegas, but you even see like its face and its eyes. It looks pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie. And I love how like when Lucy asks like what to do in this situation, the Ghoul just runs away because he knows better. But we see that the Deathclaw is in the strip because as the Ghoul is running away, he passes the Lucky 38 and heads straight for the gate back to Freeside. Now this is definitely spoilers for the show, but we do know some NCR soldiers in the NCR power armor who will be fighting the Deathclaw. But this looks like a crazy upcoming season. Episodes are dropping weekly starting December 17th. Let me know which ending you think is canon in the show in the comments below. Are we going to see a timeline where the courier was never digged out by Victor? But hopefully Bethesda has plans for something Fallout related to play around the time this season drops because us fans are dying for it. But follow me on Instagram at TheKevGuy, follow Culture Byte, subscribe to Culture Byte, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!